Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel, and today I'll be going through and doing an updated mousepad roundup just before the holidays. First up, and in my opinion, one of the best collabs we've ever gotten in the peripheral community is the Solo Leveling X Amesis collab. I really don't know how to say it, Amicus, Amesis, however you want. And for those of you who live under a rock, Solo Leveling is one of the most popular anime in the world, and was nominated for and won Anime of the Year. With popularity aside, is the Solo Leveling mousepad collab any good? Short answer, yeah. It's marketed as a control pad, but I found it to be faster than most control pads I still have in my collection. And the surface is extremely smooth and comfortable on the skin with minimal surface texture on your mouse feet as well. Additionally, this pad feels like it is extremely humidity resistant, with my very scientific test of turning the humidifier on and leaving my room empty for a little while. While the stitching isn't industry leading, it is super uniform, consistent, and soft enough on the skin to where if you complain about it, I would just say you got some soft hands, brother. Not to mention, the base feels well picked out and just sticks to my desk like glue. And overall, this pad feels really competently made, especially for a collab of this size. Usually we see something slapped together with whatever factory makes the most acceptable pad for mass marketing, whereas here we get a fire licensed art on a comfortable and consistent surface, and last but not least, a base that is on par with its peers in the same price range of under $50. While it's not perfect, it doesn't need to be, and any complaints I have, if I would have any, they would just be nitpicks. Next pad we will be talking about is from a company owned by a friend of mine who goes by Godspeed on Twitter. While he is a friend, I will do my best to cover this pad honestly and unbiased. This is the MizuWorks Cascade and is a very elegant purple design that I am a big fan of. It is simple but appreciated. Initially, I felt like this pad was firmly in the control and slow category, but overall, giving it more time and more game time on different mouse feet and different mice, I'd say it is a fast control pad or a slow balance pad. I wouldn't firmly place it in the balanced category because there is some real stopping power you can get just by pressing down into the base. The base softness is what I would say is 90% in between X soft and soft, and that contributes a ton to the comfort level. Specifically with the surface feeling on mouse feet, it feels really well rounded and as soft and open with no jarring texture at all. And the IPU base sticks to my desk very well. If I try very hard, I can get it to slide, but it doesn't move at all in game or during normal use, and the stitching is way better than the previous pad we spoke about, with it being softer and tighter overall and softer on the skin. Finally, to end off this video, I'll be doing both the Tevolution pads to save a little bit of time. They both feature one of the stickiest bases I've felt on any mouse pad ever, and I have a video up on Twitter of this pad sticking to my wall. So the base on the Tevolution pads are fucking ridiculous. They both opted for the same dense X-Soft firmness as well. While that might be for you, it's not to my taste specifically. First of the two is the Gravis, which is akin to the LGG Jupiter speed, for example. While being slightly faster than a Jupiter, it has the same almost overwhelming feeling of stopping power all the time. I would say this is only really enjoyable for slower paced games or TAC FPS, and anytime you have to track, it's really not enjoyable and it's wildly inconsistent. While in CS2, for example, I did feel like it would help quite a bit with users who struggle with mouse control or have shaky aim. The dynamic friction is low enough to where it's not muddy, but it just wasn't consistent enough for me to use in any tracking games like Call of Duty. Moving on to the Axis, the surface speed is faster than expected, similarly to the 1 of 0 balanced pad I checked out a couple videos ago. It is very fast with just enough stopping power to get you by for tracking games and some sniping. While I was personally able to enjoy this pad quite a bit in TAC FPS and slower paced games, I can see some users complaining about not enough stopping power or just too low friction overall. That being said, I am a massive fan of this surface. It's got a light but enjoyable texture, and for my notes, I do have a couple. They should give it a more traditional sizing, which they have already addressed and have plans for. And lastly, I do think the pad needs to be 1mm thicker overall. It feels slightly too thick and too plush. This could be because there's not enough surface area for my arm to rest on. I really just couldn't say. I did feel like if my arm was sweaty and I was already playing for a couple hours, it was hard for me to move my arm on this pad. And like I said, the Axis I do recommend, whereas the Gravis, you kind of have to have a specific niche to want this pad. You have to have shaky aim or very bad mouse control. Otherwise, I would go for something a little faster like the LGG Zero, or now known as the Pulsar LGG Zero. But that'll be it for today's video, and thank you for watching and have the day you deserve.